This week on Close Talkers, we watched Season 5, Episode 20, The Hamptons. So, Katie.
Hello, Derek.
How did you like The Hamptons?
So I recognized 4 or 5 different parts of this episode.
Pretty iconic episode.
I've probably seen it.
It's entered the zeitgeist.
Yeah. I don't think I realized they were all the same episode.
The term shrinkage was used in a Budweiser commercial.
Before this?
No, after this.
So there was that. There was You Gotta See the Baby. There was Breathtaking. There was...
Shrinkage?
I said that.
I don't listen to what you say.
And you didn't say any of those things. We threw it back to last week when I asked you if you remembered this episode.
So tell me this. If you had to describe her to a police sketch artist, they'd pick her up in about 5 minutes.
Well?
I know we just played the clip. What did I say? Did I just remember George's girlfriend walking around topless?
Well, you referenced it because you said police sketch.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if it was different episodes where George's girlfriend walked around naked.
Oh, okay.
And then they went back to the Hamptons and George had the shrinkage incident and
nope, it's all this
poisoned somebody with non-kosher lobster.
Poisoned is a strong word.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Slipped them some non-kosher lobster. Hey, baby, how about I slip you some non-kosher lobster?
I got that out. Oh my god. So tell us about the Hamptons.
The Hamptons was written by Peter Melman and Carol Leifer. It's directed by Tom Sharonis. It aired on May 12th, 1994. Vulture.com ranked it as the 5th best Seinfeld episode.
Mm-hmm.
Screen Crush had it sneak in to the top 3. Number 3.
Wow.
3rd best episode. However, I'm going to read you Screen Crush's description of the episode, and you can point out the inaccuracy.
Okay.
The most supremely uncomfortable moment in Seinfeld history, and let's all dwell on the implication of that statement for a second, has to be when Jerry's girlfriend walks in on George naked right after he's gotten out of the pool and there is, say it with me, significant shrinkage. Tossing Kramer's girlfriend, who loves wandering around topless, stolen lobster traps, and a hideously ugly baby, and you have the makings of a classic. Elaine has a crush on a baby's doctor, who likes to call things breathtaking. It's the perfect adjective to describe this episode.
Not Kramer's girlfriend.
It's not Kramer's girlfriend.
Did they even watch it again?
I don't think so. I don't know how you'd make that mistake.
No. So I think if I truly had seen this for the first time, I think I would have enjoyed it more. Because I would have been surprised by...
the shrinkage?
Well, Rachel sure was. But as the lines I knew came up, I was like, okay, that's Bert. Like, I think maybe I was expecting it. It was a good episode. I don't think it's the most cringeworthy moment in the series.
Probably not. I would agree with you. I think there's definitely more cringeworthy
Absolutely.
moments. So we had a couple of guest stars in this episode. We had returning Lisa Mende playing her role of Carol. She was in Scrooged, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, and Gremlins 2, Back in the Saddle. I don't know if that's the tagline for Gremlins 2. We had Mark L. Taylor reprising his role as Michael. He was in Arachnophobia, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, as well as Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. We had Melanie Smith reprising her role as Rachel. She was in DS9, As the World Turns, and Melrose Place. Some new guest stars. We had Richard Burgi taking up the role of Dr. Ben Pfeffer. He was in The Sentinel, Days of Our Lives, and General Hospital.
He had quite a chin.
I remember him from the show The Sentinel. I didn't know that he was on a bunch of soap operas. Do you remember the show The Sentinel?
No.
It's about a cop who had like superpowers.
Is that the one you wrote a spec script for?
No.
Oh.
I wrote a spec script for... I didn't write a spec script. As an English project when I was in high school, we had to write a episode of a television series, and we wrote...
you mentioned it on the show.
Yeah, what was the name? Action, I think, with Jay Moore. Moore?
And you don't think your teacher submitted all those scripts?
No, I don't think so.
Put his name on it?
He liked ours so much he showed it to every other English class.
Wow.
That's how funny it was.
Your script for Action, huh?
Mm-hmm. It was canceled.
After one episode?
It was canceled after one season.
Mm-hmm.
And it was canceled between the time that we started the project and finished it. It was a good show. We also had Jane. We also had Melora Walters playing the role of Jane. She was in Magnolia, Boogie Nights, and Butterfly Effect.
Wow. So I'll read the synopsis from Netflix. The gang visits a friend's new baby in the Hamptons. George's girlfriend goes topless. A doctor's wording puzzles Elaine. George experiences shrinkage. I think the only thing that doesn't mention is Kramer stealing the lobsters. These synopses are too long.
Who's really reading synopsises of episodes on Netflix?
All you need is the Hamptons. Gang visits a new friend's baby.
In the Hamptons.
A friend's new baby in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
And then if you've seen the episode, you're like, right, then this happens and this happens and you get to enjoy it. Yep. And if you haven't, it's not spoiled for you.
Yep.
I guess no one is reading the synopses. So the stand-up starts. Jerry's talking about humans' water fascination.
People love water. You gotta get to the beach, you gotta get to the lake.
You drink water constantly, you bathe in it.
There is a book written by like a nutritionist or something about the like current obsession with hydration.
Oh yeah.
And like, you know, everywhere people go, they're carrying their Nalgene's, they're carrying the water bottles. Your kid is going somewhere, you got to give them water. And, you know, growing up, we didn't do that. You know,
I fainted multiple times in the heat from dehydration.
And okay, but the point of the book is we don't need as much water as we're getting. We're probably fine.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, you know.
Well, I've definitely heard pushback against, you know the saying, if you're thirsty, it's already too late. And have you seen like reactions to that? Like, don't you trust your kidneys? Mm. That's what they're for, to tell you to drink water. They're not telling you, hey, you should have drank water half an hour ago.
Yeah. That's
the thirst signal, and that's when you should drink water.
It's also like, if you're thirsty, it's already too late. It's like, well, I guess I'll die.
Yeah. I just watched the movie Idiocracy.
It's got what plants crave.
Where they replace all the water, except in the toilets, apparently, with Gatorade.
I don't believe it's using the term Gatorade. But.
Well, the guy who is from the past calls it Gatorade. It's called like Blasto or something like that.
Mm-hmm. It's got what plants crave.
And what is it that plants crave exactly? Electrolytes? What does that mean? What's an electrolyte? It's what plants crave.
Mm-hmm. Isn't Maya Rudolph in that movie with Luke Wilson and Terry Crews?
Terry Crews?
President Camacho?
The guy who plays Michael Bolton on Office Space is in it. The guy who plays Milton in Office Space is in it. Stephen Root, I think he's the judge.
What year did that come out? I want to say like 2003.
I looked it up, 2006.
Oh. Why have we unfortunately moved closer to that? It was a comedy. It's become a documentary.
Eerily familiar.
So, do you want a fun fact about Idiocracy?
Yes.
This is Idiocracy Corner. Welcome to Idiocracy Talk. Idiocracy dies in the darkness.
Dies in the light?
Dies in the light.
Okay, just keep going.
So the costume designer for Idiocracy, they wanted to get, have you heard this before? No. So she was getting the clothing for, I guess the scene where like he's in the prison or something, and she had to get the shoes for this. 2006, like, okay, we gotta get like the stupidest shoes you can think of. So she found this company that makes these shoes that look just utterly ridiculous. And they were like, well, like it's kind of a small company. Like, what if these shoes become popular? I'm like, they look so dumb. There's absolutely no way they are going to become popular. And do you know what shoes those were?
Do they come in many colors?
They were Crocs.
I did know this. So I saw a guy talking about the movie Idiocracy on Instagram. And he kept referring to Crocs as idiot shoes because in the movie, they're idiot shoes. And Crocs sent him idiot shoes.
Sweet.
And his entire family. They're just like, yeah, they are. Here you go. And he's wearing them in the video. He's like, I got these idiot shoes. I got another pair of idiot shoes coming. I guess I'm an idiot. They're really comfortable.
When I went backpacking, I brought along a pair of Crocs. And I thought, oh, these shoes will be perfect for backpacking. You know, they're like
water.
Whatever. Yeah, you can wear them in the water. They float. They're whatever. I was so hot, and like the amount of sweat and it was so gross. I ended up just giving them away.
Yeah,
I actually think I sold them. I can't remember. Somebody probably sold them for like twice as much as what I sold them for. Anyways.
My mom had these gardening Crocs that had little cleats on them. And I would wear them, but you're working in the garden and your feet are getting sweaty and the shoes have holes in them. So there's dirt getting inside.
In there. It's no good.
And you're just walking around in mud. Yeah. It's so gross.
You might only wear them if you're an idiot.
Listen, I had a pair of Crocs, like ballet flats. That I constantly got compliments on. Yeah. Because they didn't look like Crocs.
I think Crocs has good non-Croc shoes. Yeah. Non-clog classic Croc shoes.
What shape of shoe am I wearing right now?
It's a clog.
It is a clog. It's a slipper, though.
Yeah.
A wool slipper. If I had some ventilation holes in here, that would be, maybe like a strap on the back to hold them on.
Flip that thing into sports mode.
Yeah.
You ever wear silk underwear?
What does Jerry say? Too exciting? Too much?
I can't remember. So one year when I was maybe 17 years old, Christmas, parents, we were doing our like classic, like everybody, gets a gift and then you open the gift and see what everybody got.
Yeah, I'm familiar with opening gifts at Christmas.
Yes.
Go on.
So I got a relatively small box, like maybe 12 centimeters by 12 centimeters by 12 centimeters. Wrapped up.
Pretty big box.
12 centimeters?
Well, you said relatively small box. I'm picturing like a cassette tape case.
Enough for an apple. You fit one apple in there.
Okay, I'm picturing inches. Go on.
No, centimeters.
Okay.
Centimeters. From my parents, and I shake it, and it's super light and like nothing. And I think I said out loud, "Oh, great! This is full of money." And I open it up, and it's a pair of silk underwear.
Why?
I don't know. My parents said they were at the store and they saw them, and my dad said, I think it was my dad, said, "I'm gonna get these for Derek." My mom said, "Do you think I like him?" My dad said, "I don't know."
So there they are.
That's how you decide to give somebody a gift. I don't know if I ever actually wore them seriously.
Just as a joke?
I don't think I ever actually like wore them. I don't know. I don't think I ever actually wore them. I don't know.
Are they still in your closet because you have all the clothes you
No. As you know, I replaced all of my underwear with fancy underwear as you gave me for our wedding, you gave me a gift of enough pairs of fancy underwear that I could wear fancy underwear every day.
Aren't I great?
Sometimes.
This episode sponsored by Sax.
Sax underwear. It's the best underwear.
It's a great slogan.
I don't know what more do you want?
Is that why your parents give you money in little boxes for Christmas, like not in an envelope? It's always in a little box.
No, I don't know why that is.
Oh.
Maybe so it's like a thing instead of a... Makes it a gift. Do you know what kishka is?
Yeah, it's like a meat stuff thing. Israeli soldiers take it into battle, so if they ever get caught behind enemy lines, they eat it and die.
Do you seriously know what kishka is?
No.
No, I don't know either.
Someone stole it.
Somebody stole it?
Yeah. I don't know who.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. We're still talking about the stand-up when Jerry says, we have a fascination with water except tiny bits of it from the sky.
Mm-hmm. Stop you dead in your tracks. Oh, I felt a drop.
I felt a drop. It's true. It's not socially acceptable to just frolic in the rain as an adult.
Yeah, but I think that's more about wearing wet clothes is like tremendously uncomfortable because they're like heavy and cold and...
So what you're saying is we need rainwear.
Yeah.
That's not like jackets, but like just clothes that are rainwear in case there's rain that day. And we can quick dry and enjoy the rain.
So a very famous Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach, John Danaher, wears rash guards everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons that he cites that is like, if it gets wet, it dries super quickly.
See, is he getting wet a lot in his day-to-day life?
I don't know. He's ahead of the curve on this clothing idea of yours.
Does he have formal rash guards?
He does. There are pictures of him wearing rash guards at weddings.
I love it. You gotta see the baby.
So there was an interesting conversation going on in George's write-up where they were discussing their love of the taste of cough medicine.
This was weird. George goes, have you ever tried it with a little bit of club soda?
Refreshing.
They're making purple drink.
Yeah, grape drink.
Purple drink.
You hate the taste of cough medicine so much that you won't even eat like cherry flavored anything.
Oh yeah. I like cherries, but I don't like artificial cherry flavor.
Mm.
So I wouldn't like chew cherry gum or have a cherry slushie or anything like that.
I had a cherry slushie the other day. It was very delicious.
I wouldn't try it because it looked horrible.
I mixed in some other colors, so it was pretty much brown. I called it garbage water.
Well, you at the self-serve pop thing, you made garbage drink.
Yeah, I think as kids we either called it garbage drink or my pet monster.
My pet monster.
How come that hasn't come back? Everything's coming back. You know what else is coming back? Seinfeld's not coming back. But you know what else is coming back? You know what I just saw in my Twitter feed?
What?
I was going to say Billy Madison. Billy Elliot?
Happy Gilmore?
No. The kid dancing, parents stripping.
Billy Elliot.
Yeah.
Oh, parents stripping.
Well, that's what happens in the movie.
I've never seen it.
No.
You'd be surprised if I had seen Billy Elliot.
Fair. So those like the joke is like those men in the movie. Spoiler alert. Like end up stripping to raise money for whatever.
You're talking about the Full Monty.
Yes. I gotta get the titles right of the show. The Full Monty. Have you seen the Full Monty?
Yes.
Okay. The Full Monty is coming back.
So wait a minute. Is Billy Elliot coming back?
No, the Full Monty. But it's coming back with all of the original cast.
Oh, that's incredible.
So the old men are going to strip.
I'm there.
I think we need to not remakes and reunions and reloadeds. We need new things. I want new. Give me new.
You don't want to see
I don't want to see an
from
octogenarian
Trainspotting take his
doing
clothes off
almost.
and
There's very little I want to see an octogenarian do. I guess I'm not going to watch the movie, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I think I am.
Okie dokie, it's on Disney Plus. This episode brought to you by Disney Plus. Disney Plus.
We got octogenarians shaking it.
Seems very anti-Disney.
Disney's different.
Mm.
They have so many intellectual properties.
Once they got the MCU and the Star Wars.
Yeah. What can you say was really a Disney project anymore?
Yeah. So this is a little weird about George and Jane going away together before they've slept together.
I think I was distracted by the dessert I was eating. Do they have a contract?
No.
That they're going to do it?
No.
In the Hamptons?
Jerry said that her agreeing to go on the vacation is like an agreement that she will sleep with him.
Oh, okay.
That's why George is excited, but they haven't slept together yet.
Okay, that's why he's going like this time next week.
Yeah.
I
can feel her up, which, Yo ma.
Putros golly.
Nice rack.
So when Kramer is asking Jerry to lotion him up,
Uh-huh.
and Jerry will not, and Kramer goes, I'll do your back. And Jerry goes, that's not sweetening the deal.
Yeah.
So how do you get lotion on your back if you're on like a boys trip, if no one's going to lotion each other's back?
When the last
Do you
work
just
trip,
burn?
one of the last work trips that I went on, I just like the company I worked for was 95% men, and just like one of my coworkers, I was like, "Hey, can you put some sunscreen on my back, and I'll put it on your back?" And you're like, "Yeah, it was fine."
Good. I'm glad. I mean, Jerry's sitting out there fully clothed.
Okay, where is the Hamptons?
I looked this up recently because I didn't know. It's like...
is it New Jersey? Is it New York?
It's New York. I think it's the top of Long Island. I don't know. Let's look it up now. Okay, so it's like an hour and a half drive from Manhattan. Do you want to go to the Hamptons?
No.
I need to be at the ocean. I need to be.
There's closer water.
It's not very warm there. Is
In
it?
the Hamptons?
Yeah.
Well, that's what one of the reasons that I asked that was like, I mean, I guess in the summer it could get up to like 30-ish degrees or something, but like, is it expected that Jerry would be in fully clothed and Elaine comes out in a full like ankle length dress with hat?
Well,
to hide from the sun.
Jane is topless in a bathing suit.
Yeah, I guess it's warm enough for that.
I guess. They say later when George finds out that she was walking around topless, Kramer goes, I guess she was hot.
Yeah. So we got a super ugly baby.
Some ugly baby, huh?
It was like a Pekingese.
Jerry and Elaine are winded from how ugly this baby is. They're like leaning against the walls for support. Have you ever really seen an ugly baby?
I mean, when babies are young enough, they all kind of look the same.
Yeah. I'm not talking about like day one newborns. They're all kind of like puffy and red and weird. But I mean, like, you know, this kid is at least a couple weeks old or something.
Don't babies have to look cute? Otherwise we'd eat them.
How ugly could this baby be?
I think that's the joke. There are no ugly babies. Are there?
Well, they're ugly people, so you gotta wonder, were they ugly as babies too?
I think you gotta be like, I'm gonna say, because like, at what age does like the baby start to look like the parents?
It's a good question.
And it's like the development of the face like starts to like go together. I was gonna say like 3 months, 4 months.
Oh, I was gonna say like one year? Yeah. I think, like, I'm thinking of our kid, and I have pictures every week, and then every month, and then like every year as she got older. Mm-hmm. And the advice I give to new parents is take 1,000,000 photos in the first month, because that face will be gone. Like, that's not the face you're going to see for the next year, and it'll change again when they're older. And it did, like, you know, newborn photos are like, this could be anybody. And then I feel like around a year, our kid started to look like, you know, a small version of who she is now.
Yeah. But before that, she looked...
breathtaking?
I was going to say, like, distinguishable. Like,
yeah, oh, sure. But she didn't look like you. She didn't look like me, really.
Okay.
Elaine meets this baby doctor and basically ovulates on the spot.
I'm dying to have a baby. Love to have a baby.
Can you imagine her chin plus his chin?
Baby would be all chin.
That would be breathtaking.
Can you use the word breathtaking, like...
I only would think of it in a positive way.
Yeah, but, like, could you use it like, whew, I was, had the wind knocked out of me, it was breathtaking.
No. Incorrect.
That's like, when you say something smells.
It's not good.
No, I think in, like, Indonesia, it means, if you were to say, like, smells, it means, like, a pleasant scent, like, by default. Somebody told me that. Well, we might need to fact check that, but, I mean, you could, like, walk into a bakery and be like, oh, this smells, which is factually correct, but people would misinterpret it to mean that it smells bad.
In English, you would always say, that smells amazing.
Yeah.
That smells great. What smells so good? You smell great. Like, you smell.
Oh, you stink.
Synonyms.
Let's reverse the adjective.
You stink wonderfully.
Yeah. From now on, stink. Good smell.
You reek of seduction.
So I think, so post Rachel walking in on George, Jerry uses the perfect analogy to describe shrinkage after Elaine asks about it shrinking. He says, like a frightened turtle.
It's all the way back up in that shell, huh?
The way that the turtle's neck skin envelops its head. We're going to get an explicit rating on this episode.
So. I'm trying to see the timestamp for beeping this out. I also wrote down from earlier when Elaine's trying to puzzle out what the doctor meant by calling her and the baby breathtaking. Jerry goes, I've never been called breathtaking either. I like fake indignation from Jerry.
It's a good look. No, I was in the pool and it was cold. So I was looking to see if he had some chewing gum because the chewing warms me up.
I wrote in big letters, I was in the pool. So they must have a heated pool at this Hamptons house because they're not going in the ocean.
Oh, true. Why wouldn't you swim in the ocean? If you had a choice, even between heated pool and ocean, if you're at the ocean.
I think you could enjoy both, but it's telling that George was in the pool. It's weird that he's in the pool. The ocean's cold too.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just say in the ocean? Tomatoes never made it to the hand fruit status.
Well, so successful with the ketchups and the sauces, but you never find a good one. Are Hamptons tomatoes a thing? Is that a real thing?
I don't think so. I mean, is it a real fruit growing region?
I think you think that a certain something is not all that it could be, when in fact it is all that it should be and more.
So this house that they filmed at, I think they actually filmed in the Hamptons, which is weird. It was also in the movie Deep Impact.
Oh, wow.
And it sold recently, I don't know what year that is, in 2018 for $3 million under its asking price.
Yikes. Deep Impact was the one about the miners that had to go to the space comet and mine it.
No, isn't that Armageddon? That's Armageddon.
Wasn't there two? It was the time.
Yeah.
It was the time in cinema when every movie came out in pairs. There was Deep Impact and Armageddon. There was
Red Planet and Mission to Mars.
There was the two magician movies.
The Prestige and the other one.
Yep. Prestige and the other one.
So Kramer makes sure that Rachel keeps it kosher.
Oh, no, not on my watch.
This is a very good Kramer episode.
I was wondering if you liked the montage or not.
What montage? Him on the beach?
Yeah.
You know what I wrote down? Is it weird that I would like to have a metal detector, or at least borrow one for a while and see what I find?
Oh, yeah.
It is weird?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, go for it.
Okay, let's do that.
They're like, what, $100?
I don't know.
Go around looking for stuff?
Yeah, why not?
It's like magnet fishing. You want to get into magnet fishing?
I know someone who does magnet fishing.
Huh. They ever find any bombs?
I don't know. At your parents' house, it would be probably pretty lucrative to walk around with a metal detector or a magnet and pick up stuff.
At my parents' house?
Yeah.
Probably belongs to them.
You get jail for lobster poaching?
Well, I think you have to pay a fine, and if Kramer can't pay a $1,000 fine, he has to do some community service.
But I mean, he's wearing a prison uniform. He's wearing idiot shoes.
In Better Call Saul, when he has to do community service, they make him wear like a vest while he's picking up trash. So maybe it's like...
He's in the full orange jumpsuit.
Maybe it was for the moment. I really liked Elaine's facial expressions when she was talking to Dr. Pfeffer.
Yeah.
And he was like... breathtaking. And she was like, I've never heard you refer to a baby as breathtaking. You refer to me as breathtaking. Well, sometimes you're just doing that to be nice.
She does a lot of emoting and nonverbal work in this episode. I wrote down Madeleine chomping an orange.
Yep. At the breakfast table.
Yeah. That's kind of all I have.
That was kind of the end of the episode, other than, George slipped some shellfish into Rachel's eggs. Not a euphemism.
Lobster scrambled eggs.
Your Bonjour brioche used to have, what was it, lobster?
No, it was just smoked salmon, scrambled eggs, and caviar.
Oh.
Just that.
Just. Not
this
not
restaurant
lobster.
that I haven't been to in 10 years. Yeah. And you could only pay cash at.
I feel like there was a lot of restaurants you can only pay cash at.
In like 2015?
It was, restaurants, they're trying to
Cheat?
cook the books. Stick it to the man.
So the last stand-up, Jerry's talking about the ocean. How much work we do to get to the ocean. We got to get to the ocean. Sit in traffic to get to the ocean. And the ocean doesn't want us.
The waves are just throwing you back.
Yeah. My friend and I were in Ireland a week before you joined us in Ireland last year. And the town where we were working on this archaeological dig had a really beautiful beach where I went swimming. And it was like swimming in the Caribbean. It was warm, like white sand, huge long beach, like beautiful.
Ireland, come for the beaches.
Apparently, yes. And then like 5 minutes down the road, there's a smaller beach. And there are signs everywhere that's like, do not go in the water. The undertow will take you. You will die. And man, people were in the water. It was very nerve-wracking to watch them. They would like not submerged, but they were in up to their knees. And
oh, that's fine. You're not going to get pulled out just from your knees.
What if a big wave comes?
You'll be fine.
You don't mess around with the undertow.
You'll be fine.
It's the bouncer that roughs you up a little.
Ireland, come for our beaches.
Apparently.
So what's the next episode? We're 48 minutes into recording this.
The opposite.
I'll take a chicken salad on rye, untoasted, with a side of potato salad and a cup of tea.
You've said this to me.
I have, yeah.
Now I'll know why.
Chicken isn't the opposite of tuna. Salmon's the opposite of tuna because salmon swim against the current and tuna swim with it. George decides that every decision he's ever made in life is wrong, and therefore he will do the opposite of his natural instincts. Do you have any corrections?
I do. So last week we had Eric the Clown, who was Jon Favreau, and I didn't recognize him. And I said, I would have believed that was Vince Vaughn over Jon Favreau. And I think it's because Jason Alexander is so short. Like, Jon Favreau is not a tall guy. But Jason Alexander is so short, Eric the Clown towered over him. And I went back and watched that part of the episode again. And when he, smears his makeup, it's obviously him.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I didn't catch it the first time. The exterior of Robin's apartment with the French flag is 88 Grand Street in New York. And right now there's no French flag on Street View. It's just an apartment building.
Oh.
I thought it was like the French embassy or something. So you said you explained the movie Swingers to someone in a bar for an hour and a half. The movie is 96 minutes long.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Oh, and we didn't know the main baby's name in Rugrats. It's Tommy.
Oh, sure.
The twin astronauts that I brought up are Scott and Mark Kelly. So one went to space and one stayed here.
Mark went to space?
Scott went to space and stayed for 1 year.
Ah.
So his DNA didn't change, but his gene expression did. So 93% of his gene expressions returned to normal after 6 months back on Earth, but 7% didn't. And in photos, he looks a lot younger than the one that stayed on Earth. Like,
interesting.
Mark looks like he could be his dad.
So I think what you're saying is the secret to youthful good looks. Don't tell the celebrities this. We'll start sending them all to space.
Yeah. You gotta spend a year in space.
Doesn't sound so bad. I think I could do a year in space.
Absolutely. Can I bring Tears of the Kingdom with me? Sold. And I got the name of the show wrong that we were quoting all the time.
Seinfeld.
You may look like a clown, but you are not a clown.
Oh, the buckets.
No, it's called Baskets.
Baskets. Oh, gosh. I think we only watched maybe 3 episodes. Yeah. But we do say anytime there's a clown.
He's not a clown.
Really confuses our daughter, who's not seen.
This show with Zach Galifianakis from 2012.
No.
And that's all I got. Well.
Okie dokie. Well, we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Believe it or not, this is our podcast. Please subscribe at the end. If you subscribed, we would be happy. Please subscribe to us. Believe it or not, it's our podcast.
Is that a Seinfeld reference?